What if the one thing controlling your life suddenly stopped working? In one village, a broken clock didn't cause disaster. It caused awakening. This is the story of a village that measured time wrong and learned something the world often forgets. In the dry highlands, beyond the last paved road, there is a village called Kalo. Kalo was known for one strange thing. Its people believed time was fixed, not precious, not flexible, fixed. Every day followed the same rhythm. Farmers planted on the same dates every year. Students studied only what had been taught for decades. Elders repeated the same advice their elders had given before them. Time doesn't change, they said. People do, and usually for the worse. So no one questioned anything, until a boy named Tarek broke the village clock. The clock hung in the center of Kalo, mounted on a tall wooden pole. It wasn't decorative. It decided everything. When people woke, when the market opened, when children went to school, when work ended. One afternoon, while chasing a rolling tire, Tarek crashed into the pole. The clock fell. Gears scattered. The hands stopped. At first, everyone panicked. Without the clock, people argued. Was it time to work? Time to eat? Time to rest? The village elders gathered and argued until sunset. Finally, the oldest elder spoke. "We will fix it tomorrow. For now, go home." But tomorrow came with heavy rain, and the next day the repair tools were missing. Days passed. The clock remained broken. Something strange began to happen. Farmers started working when the soil felt right, not when the clock once told them to. They noticed crops grew better when they watched the sky instead of the hands of metal. Children studied when they were curious, not when a bell demanded silence. They asked more questions. They learned faster. The market opened when people arrived, not when the clock allowed it. Trade improved. Fewer arguments happened. Tarek noticed all of this. One evening, he asked his grandfather, "Why was everything harder before?" His grandfather sighed. "Because we obeyed time instead of understanding it." A week later, a traveler arrived. She was a woman with dust on her shoes and notebooks filled with drawings. She listened more than she spoke. When she finally did speak, she said something that unsettled the elders. "You don't have a time problem," she said. "You had a thinking problem." She explained that time is a tool, not a ruler. A clock helps organize life, but when people stop observing reality and only obey schedules, they stop adapting. Rigid systems break. Living systems adjust. The elders didn't like this. Rules had given them authority. The clock had given them control. So they fixed the clock. The hands began to move again. The bell rang. But something was different. The next morning, farmers glanced at the clock, then at the sky. Children heard the bell, then finished their questions. Shopkeepers opened on time, but stayed open when trade was good. The clock still stood in the center of Kalo, but it no longer ruled it. Years later, when drought struck nearby villages, Kalo survived better. When new tools arrived, Kalo adapted faster. When outsiders asked why, the villagers gave a simple answer. "We learned when our clock broke." And as for Tarek, he became a teacher. On the wall of his classroom hung the repaired clock. Under it, a sentence written in chalk. "Time measures life, but thinking shapes it." Sometimes progress doesn't come from fixing what's broken. It comes from understanding why it broke in the first place. If this story made you think, like the video, subscribe for more meaningful stories, and share it with someone who still feels ruled by the clock. New stories every week. Some lessons last longer than time.